And of course, family, this is just the pregame, right? Like we get to gear up into the Business Autopilot Summit, which is going to be May 19th through the 22nd. So put it on your calendars because we definitely want to make sure that we have that time blocked out. I see North Carolina. I see Adrian Smith out of New Mexico. I see Angela's out of Memphis. James Hicks said, James Hicks says San Jose, Cali. Okay, good stuff. I see that Betty said Houston, Texas. Okay, I see South Carolina, Catherine. I like that. What is your city near, Catherine? Where's the nearest city? I want to know. I see Cheryl is out of Mounds, Illinois. Sheila Byrd says Centerville, Georgia. I'm seeing some faces. So, not that there are any rules, but, there are some suggestions, just some suggestions. I heard that this was a good looking group. But we got to prove it, right? We got to turn on those cameras. I want to see the pearly whites. I want to see the smiles because we are here to learn tonight. Jenny said, hi, Lena. See, I'm in Charlotte. Yeah, I'm a millennial, okay? But we're really excited. I see Suzette out of Tams, Illinois. Good stuff. Family, this is really something that we're excited about, as coaches. We are 3 generations, 4 coaches, different, strategies and different things that we're really skilled at. And we're excited to bring the best of the best for you here tonight. Remember, this is a pregame. So this is getting you ready for the Business Autopilot Summit. And we're excited because, this is going to be some good stuff. We had people last week that were able to organize their inboxes, learn, branding strategy for social media, got some great copy. I'm talking about copyright for your email subject lines, as well as your emails. So tonight is going to be fire. Coach Dunbar is always on time. He already dropped his PDF in the chat. He's always ahead of time. Good stuff. So we're getting everybody, a chance to be able to log on, get your notebook, make sure that you have your desktop. And then you have, of course, your desktop that you can work on. And you also have, of course, something that you can write with, that you can take notes so that you can, engage and interact. And this is us. Oh, we are some good looking folks. Go ahead. Look at that. So exciting. So exciting. And family, of course, we're going to get started sooner rather than later. But I want to make sure that we send out those text messages. We make sure that we let our people know that we are live right now. We are live and, and ready to go. So, of course, family, May 19th through the 22nd. How many of us have written the date down in our calendars? Like, drop a 1 in the chat if you wrote the date down for Business Autopilot Summit in your calendar. I see. Oh, yeah. All right, I see some 1s. Oh, Coach Dunbar said 1. Of course, I would hope so.
Hey,
right.
Gotta participate.
Nancy said, she got the dates. Barbara got the dates. Cheryl has the dates. Catherine has the dates. Good stuff. So, family, I don't want to take too much time. I'm really excited, to be able to introduce, the first coach that is going to share this evening. I'll tell you this. It is amazing what mentorship can do. And I met this lady, this woman, this business coach extraordinaire when I was 26 years young. And she probably doesn't realize it. It's been that long, 26 years young. And she essentially took me under her wing. And she gave me that auntie talk. It was like that mama auntie talk, and it changed the trajectory of my business. I do not take her coaching lightly. She leads women, right? She leads women into their retirement, into their destiny, and into their gifting. I am going to pass it over to the one, the only Coach Sharon Larry. Over to you.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't realize you were just 26. Oh my God. I don't know if I even remember 26. Ariel, I'm sure I had it though, right? So good evening, fellow entrepreneurs. And I am so glad that you are back with us. If you are back with us, this is not your first time, please go ahead and put a 2 in the chat. If this is not your first time, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat. So we are working on week number 3. So that means you've been with us for 2 previous, and now you are here for the 3rd series. And you know, it's funny because the whole premise of the series is so that we can give you guys some tips, some tricks, some techniques, some things that you can start to use as you prepare for the summit on May 19th. Now, what does that mean? That means that we want to make sure we're doing hands-on. We don't want to be in the summit telling you, do this, do this, do this. We want to make sure that we're saying, here is what you need to do. Pull out your computer, pull out your laptop, pull out your phone, because we're going to go through some of these techniques and processes with you. And tonight, I'm going to show you a way that you can do that, and do that in the most simple way. So I'm going to go right back to my screen share here. And how many of you guys have seen what it looks like to have those dual monitors, right? The dual monitors on your desk. Well, my husband has the dual monitors. He has 2 monitors on his desk. Now, I don't have 2 monitors on my desk because I need room on my desk for, my makeup kit. I need room on my desk for my Kleenex. I need room on my desk for my both pair of eyeglasses when I need them, right? I have all of my files and everything right here on my desk. So I don't really have the space that he does. I have a much smaller desk than he does. But I still need to be able to use some of the magic that comes from having 2 screens. And so when I started to look at how can I do this, I don't really want to buy another screen, but I still want to be able to do what my husband does. He easily moves information from one screen to the other. He also uses it so that he can have one screen open while he's learning, and he's taking notes on the other screen. So my question to you is, wouldn't you love to be able to do that on one screen? Right? Hey, let me know. If this is something that sounds interesting to you, can you go ahead and give me a big 6 up in the chat, a big 6 up, please? Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, so let me show you guys how to do that, because look at this. This lady has 3 screens, right? I don't know that I have the bandwidth myself to do 3 screens. And this is kind of like what my setup looks like. A lot of times my computer is about that size, and then sometimes I have my laptop or my tablet. But there is an easier way to do that. If you have Windows, now you can also do this with Mac. There's a little bit of a different way to do it, but you could easily Google how to do a split screen on Mac. Now, I'm a PC girl. I've been a PC girl for 200 years, and probably no changing me now. But to have those 2 screens, and let's jump in and look at how we do that. So I'm going to get out of this and go right on over here. Right now, I'm in my Google Chrome, in the Google Chrome, and I'm gonna open 2 screens. So I'm in this screen now, but I'm gonna go right over here, the 3 little dots here, and I'm gonna open a new window. So now I actually have this window, and I'm in this window. I'm gonna actually go over to, let's go over to my calendar. So we're in my calendar now, but I also am doing a Zoom. Let's say I'm working working with a prospect right now. I've got them in Zoom, right? And I really need to be able to see both screens. They're asking me about my calendar. I really don't want to take my attention away from the Zoom. So I can see how I'm just grabbing right here? Grab this screen. I can put this screen, I can snap, they call it snap. I can snap that screen, and now I'm back in my Zoom. Let's just say this was my Zoom, right? I'm back in the Zoom. So now I've got the Zoom, and now I've also got my calendar up, right? And this is very easy. If you have Windows, you can do this. It's just part of Windows. There is nothing that you have to upload, download. It's just part of Windows, right? So now from here, I can actually, let's say that I need to do a search. I could do a search. I could say, I need pictures of flowers. Right here can come up flowers. I need pictures of flowers. Now, let's just say I'm through with my calendar, through with my Zoom, and I'm going to create a quick email, or maybe not an email, just something in Word. I'm going to take Word and do the same thing. I'm going to put my Word, and here's how I can do this with Word, right? I've got my Word file up. All I have to do is hit the little windows on the keyboard, the little keyboard that says window, and I hit my arrow key, and now it puts it to the right. I could have hit the arrow key to the left as well, but I wanted it to the right because I got my flowers. Now, I just want to make a copy of this flower. I just want to take this flower and copy this flower. I want to copy and I'm just going to paste it right over here, right? Let me see. I can't see. Let me see. Get a flower. And I want to just copy this. I'm going to copy this image, and I'm going to just add this image here. Okay. Give me the flower. Give me the flower. Can't see here. Okay. Let me do it in, oh, I see. Let me do it like this. Okay, let me go to Google. I'm just going to do pictures of flowers. Okay, here we go. Now I'll do the images. Now I just want to copy this flower. Now I'm going to move this screen back again. I'm just moving this screen right back to the left. And I just want to get an image. And I just want to copy that image. So I'm going to copy the image, and I'm just going to move the image over here. Right? So now I can work right between screens. So whether I'm Googling information, let's say that I'm Googling information. Forbes article about Legal Shield. And this is the article about Jeff Bell becoming part of the Forbes something. What was he part of? Let me pull it up. So here's a Forbes article. And let's say that I wanted to just, I'm going to go to my Gmail. I'm not going to save this, but I am going to go back over, open up another window. I'm going to move this window right over to the right, and I'm going to go into my Gmail. Okay, I'm in my Gmail now. I'm going to compose a Gmail, and I'm just going to copy and paste. So if I've got information here, this is Facebook. I'm not trying to get in Facebook. Here we go. So this is the article about Mr. Bell joining the Technology Council, the Forbes Technology Council. So if I wanted to get this information and I just wanted to copy it, I'm just going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it right into my, in the message, and whoever I'm sending the message to. What I want to show you guys is when let's say that you're in a training, you could have the training to the right or left. And now you could actually be taking notes as well. You could actually make sure that when we're doing the summit, for instance, that we're going to be asking you guys to pull up your computers and work through the processes with us. This would be a great way to do it. This would be a very simple and easy way to do it. Now, if this makes sense, let me know if this just makes sense. I'm going to stop the share here. Does it make sense? Okay, everybody saying it makes sense. Good stuff. So we're going to be here. I'll be here right after we finish tonight. And that means that if you have any questions, please stay around. I'd be more than happy to try to answer any questions that you have about using the split screens. It's called dual screen, or it's called snapping. So now I get the honor of turning it over to our next trainer. And so she just introduced a whole lot of us, right? And I had no idea that she was 26, and now she's 28. Well, she's but we call her the millennial coach because she brings such a wealth of information, especially when it comes to social media. And as much as I want to believe that I can really maneuver social media, is when I met Ariel that she really showed me. She like, come on, auntie. Don't worry, I got you, right? So I'm going to turn it over to our very own millennial coach. And this is our social media extraordinaire, Miss Ariel Samone.
Thank you so, so much, Coach Sheila, Larry. And, you know, family, I will tell you, split screen has changed my life. How many of us, by a show of hands and drop a 7 in the chat, how many of us were like, okay, this is a productivity hack. This is something that I can absolutely use all the time. Like you have a coaching client on, you have them on Zoom, you have your notepad up or whatever system that you use. I mean, I watch YouTube videos and work. Listen, that's just me, right? Because sometimes I need a little background noise. But for Macs, I saw somebody say they'll Google it for Macs. For Apple, all you do is hover, just literally hover over the green, which allows us to expand our thing. Just hover over the green and it'll give you an option to do split screens, and then it'll ask you which side. So just hover. And I love it. Thank you so much, Coach Larry. I'm a Mac gal. So family, how many of us drop a 2 in the chat if we know that going live is necessary? Drop a 2 in the chat if we know going live on Instagram, Facebook, maybe even TikTok. If we know that by going live on these platforms, it would be beneficial. Drop a 2, just so that I can see if we're on the same page. Okay, I just want to make sure. So I see Janice, Jim, Valerie, Cheryl, Rosalind, Nancy. I see some 2s too, but so scared. Okay, and guess what? I get it. This is why we're going to be doing the summit, okay? This is why we are going to use this social media space, a safe space, right? A safe space, mind you, but this is why we're going to be using this social media space to get us in tune. And so we're not going live tonight. Don't worry. Everybody go, okay. We're not going live tonight. Don't worry. But I'm going to discuss the top 5 reasons. The top 5 reasons why going live will be beneficial to you, your business, your brand, and what you're growing and going to scale here in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Is that fair? Can I get some hands raised? Drop some 1s in the chat. That's fair, right? Let me see some faces if you guys don't mind. If you can turn on your cameras for me, because I want to make sure that this is clicking. Because the moment that I recognized how important going live was is the moment that my business changed. Okay. And I want us to write this down if we're taking notes, or if we're on split screen right now, because we actually applied, I want you to write down non-negotiable. It is non-negotiable. So family, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And don't worry, you're getting this infographic. This is going to be yours. Can you guys see my screen? Let me get some thumbs up, and I'm going to make sure that I can see some faces. I see some thumbs up. I see Betty. Betty, give me a thumbs up. Can you see my screen, Betty? Oh my goodness. Okay, good stuff. Tracy, can you see my screen? I see Tracy Valentine. Good. Top 5 reasons to go live. Now, This is an Instagram logo, but I want you guys to know that this is across the board. This is across the board for you. And don't read ahead. Stay with me. Okay, stay with me. But the first reason I want you to go live is because you're going to position yourself as an expert. Let's talk about that. Positioning yourself as an expert, family, this is so important because when you bring value, when you bring information, when you're answering questions that your audience needs answers to, don't you become a trusted factor in their life? Don't you become somebody that they go to? Now, imagine if this person is on their phone every day, all day, and they see a notification for you going live. Don't you think that they're going to come onto your platform just a little bit more? Don't you think that they're going to say, you know what, let me check in with this person? That's the first reason. All of us, everybody here should be looking to become a brand, should be looking to become an expert. Write in the chat, I'm an expert. Because we all are experts. And before, where we used to need media to give us a platform, we used to need ABC or CNN or a media outlet to give us a platform before we could be seen as an expert. And now you have the power to do it on your own. Does that resonate with some of y'all? Can I get some, does that, before you needed the powers that be to say, she's important enough, she, or he matters, or what she's saying is valuable, before you needed them to say it. And now you can create it for yourself. Is that not powerful? You have the power in your hand, okay? All right, family, this is the second. You guys ready? The second reason is visibility. Let's read this together. All social media platforms love it when you go live. They alert your followers, but it also becomes evergreen content. We can't even talk about everything that this means right now, but we will in this. We'll talk about evergreen content. We'll talk about document to create, because a lot of us, we think that we have to take out our planners and say, this is where I'm going to create content, where sometimes your life is the content. This right here is my content. I'm going to take this off of YouTube after Coach Dunbar puts it up, and I'm going to chop it up and I'm going to throw it on what? Social media. But guess what you can do? You can go live and you can save it as a series. And then when you go back, you can take a certain part of that live and create content out of it all over again. And this goes into your portfolio as a trainer, as a speaker, as a coach. Can you drop in the chat for me, family? Drop 3s in the chat if you see yourself as a trainer, a speaker, a coach, somebody that's leading maybe an organization or a business where you have to be positioned and you have to be visible. Drop a 3 in the chat for me if that's you, because I want to know. All right. The third is building trust. The more you give, the more you get. If you leave here with anything tonight, it's that. The more you give, the more you get. I see a lot of 3s. This is some good stuff. All right. Because when you build trust with your audience, when you consistently show up, and I don't care if you have 1 follower, and when I say follower, this is your audience, this is your tribe. I don't care if you have 1, 1,000, 10,000, 24,000. A life is a life, right? You're giving value to this one person, to these thousands of people. And so I want you to consistently show up, because the more you show up for them, don't you think eventually they're going to show up for you? Right? Going live is a way for you to quickly get in, give value, get off, and go back to your work. I go live sometimes for 10 minutes, and I'll share what I learned from my morning read. Family, I learned it already. I didn't stop and read it to them. I just shared from my perspective. And now, guess what? I'm an expert, right? All right. The fourth thing. How many of us would agree that we're going to have to speak in front of large groups of people anyway? Christella is like, yeah. I see Sheila's like, yeah, we do. We got to speak in front of people anyway. We got to speak. I don't know why y'all are prolonging the inevitable. And these people don't even look at you. Like you can't see them looking at you. Like you can't even see them looking at you. You can't see them drinking their coffee. You can't see them making facial expressions. It's just you, the camera, and your thoughts, what you're sharing, maybe even your planned content. When we get to the business summit, right? The business autopilot summit, guess what? I'm going to show you how to easily create content. I'm going to show you how to curate content and do it in pockets of time so that you don't have to worry about, making the day out of it, right? But you're going to develop your skill anyway. So you might as well do it on this platform. So are you scaling your business in this digital economy? If you're doing that, you're more likely to be in front of your target audience training, speaking, and coaching. So going live just helps you build that skill. Guess what I do sometimes? This is my little cheat code. Sometimes I'll use my live to work through some of my trainings. Like if I have an idea that I want to eventually train on, like I didn't make the PowerPoint from it yet, like I didn't do the slide deck. Sometimes I'll say, hey, I think this is a topic I want to cover. I'll hop on live. I'll get feedback from my audience, from my followers, from my tribe, and they help me help them. Sometimes they DM me and like, that was spot on. I needed that. How many of us would like feedback on what our people need? This is a way to do it, right? And then the last one, and we'll talk about this during the summit. I'll share this with you, family. I remember when I received my first belief check from Instagram. My first belief check, Instagram paid me a whopping, a crushing $200. $200 IG paid. And you would have thought it was 2000. I was like, they paid me to do something I was going to do anyway. Like it changed the game for me, family. And this isn't for you to go after, right? This is something that's going to happen anyway. When you show up for people, this means that your audience is going to grow. Your followers are going to grow. Your engagement is going to grow. And so eventually, the more you go live, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, they literally are paying you for something that you have to do to build your business anyway. So why not get the check? Can you write in the chat, get the check? Get the check. Drop it in the chat. Get the check. Because before, and this was what we talked about last week, you had to pay to be able to advertise. I see Janice is like, get the check. Angelia is like, Dr. A is like, get the check. When you monetize on social media, they're paying you to advertise. They're literally paying you to go, hey, I'm here. This is what I do. Come work with me. And they want you to do it in their space and on their platform. So family, I hope that this gets your mindset right so that when we start talking about going live and how to do it in the format, when you hop on the live, I'm going to make sure I give you the format during the summit. I'm going to make sure I give you my tips on how I'm able to do a 15-minute live. And it didn't take me anything longer than 2 minutes to plan it, right? I'm going to make sure that you get the bag. I'm going to make sure that you understand the rules to monetization, because that's what it's called when they're willing to pay you. And so we're going to discuss that at the summit. So excited. I have the opportunity to pass it over to a gentleman that has completely, changed the game. When I first, was asked to join this summit, this business autopilot summit, something that I honored that he did, he and Coach Larry, was the way that they mastermind around what you all need, around what our tribe needs, and his heart of giving to make sure that it's so feasible, so affordable. And then on top of that, he said, and let's do something for free so that we can make sure everybody's on the same page. I'm excited to be able to pass it over to your success coach, Coach Dunbar. Are you there, sir?
I am. This has been so exciting. Thank you guys for doing such a wonderful job. And the ladies are always on fire. I don't know where we at, guys. I don't know whether they are sleeping, whether we dormant. I don't know what's happening, but the women are like all over the place. Thumbs up, clapping, showing it. Come on, guys. We got to stand up, guys. I know it's only a few of us. I know the women on the takeover. I've been looking at the numbers, but we got to step it up. So So, ladies and gentlemen, how many times have you gotten an email from somebody with a really nice signature and you're saying, me too, right? But you don't know how to create a signature, right? Put an 8 in the chat if you've seen those professional signatures come through, wonder what they cost, wonder how you can do them yourself. I'm going to talk to you today about not only how to create a personal signature, business signature, but how to create more than one right in Gmail for free, and to be able to change them based on whatever branding you're sending it from. So last week, Coach Larry talked about personalizing your emails, meaning sending it to a person and making sure that they knew it was exactly for them. I'm going to show you how to send an email, let them know that it came from you. And if you're sending an email from your personal business, from you as the individual, or from another business that you own, all you have to do is change that signature with a click. And now you can do that automatically, right? So if you guys want to know that, put a 9 in the chat if you're interested in knowing how to do that. Now, guess what? As we get further in the summit, I'm going to show you how to design your own emails using templates on Canva that I already set up for you to create it. I'm going to show you how that looks. And if Vanessa Harris is here with us tonight, I'm going to actually use her company as an example of how you can create an online business card, get rid of the background and use it as a signature and drop it right in your email so people know exactly who you are. And then when you get in the business summit as well, I'll show you how to add clickable links, how to add the different social media logos. So once Ariel Samone shows you how to use your social media, once you have it set up, now you can put those clickable links in your email and people can follow you right from your email. So you guys ready? Put a 10 in the chat if you guys are ready to hear this information. And of course, in the chat, I've already put the PDF. So I know I'm from up north. I know I talk fast. So don't worry about catching everything I said. Don't worry about following me as I go through the steps, because the PDF is already set up for you all to be able to follow that. So I'm going to show you the PDF real quickly, just so you guys know it's here. So this is how the PDF looks. It's just 2 pages. One is the cover page. The second page has the information. So it's got personalizing your email signature. And on the second page, it's going to take you right through the steps. Getting to your email signature settings, choosing your signature settings, right? And then changing your signature when you're composing that email. So when you hear me say, go here, click here, go there, do this, do that, don't worry about trying to keep up with me. If I'm moving too fast, you can always go to that PDF. I emailed it out and I've dropped it in the chat twice already. So while I'm talking, if one of the co-trainers can go in there and put it in there again for anybody who joined after, so we can make sure that you all have it. So I'm gonna go ahead and annotate my pen so that it is red so that you can follow me as I move around the screen here. So I'm gonna go to my email, and inside my email here, I'm going to go ahead and click on settings in the upper right-hand corner. And then I'm going to click on see all settings. And then I'm going to scroll right down. Put 11 in the chat if you knew you had a signature down there. Gmail already got it set up for you. You got your signature already down there. So you see here, I have different signatures to choose from. So all I got to do is click each signature and it'll change it. So you see this says Business AutoPilot Summit 2022. It's got my name. It's got what my goal is in this training for myself as a trainer, right? As a coach, business, automation, and organization. It's got my telephone number, my email address, the link to register for the pregame, the link to register for the business summit, and then a picture below it for the summit. So you can even add an image there. That's that signature. So if I go to send an email, I can click that signature and it'll pull up and drop it right below my email, and I don't have to type anything. If I'm sending an email to a Legal Shield client, I'm using my PPLSI signature. And it says Robert Dunbar Oceanside Benefits. That's the company name I use with Legal Shield. Independent Associate of PPLSI, Legal and Identity Theft Employee Benefits, Small Business Legal, Commercial Drivers. My business line my email address, llbenefits@legalshieldassociate.com. Book an appointment with me. You can click that link and book an appointment with it if you need to. And then below that, I have what? The PPLSI logo, right? So all I have to do is switch over to that one if I want to use that one. And then I've got my TBD coaching signature also down here, right? And I can keep creating more. If I click create new, I can create another email signature. So I've got success coach, right? I've got my information as a coach, and then I've got an image down there that I created for my signature. So all you have to do is click create new, name it, right? So I'm going to say Vanessa Harris. Give me a thumbs up if you're on here, Vanessa. I don't know if Vanessa's on here. Consulting services, right? And all I gotta do is spell it right. And then she is an LLC. So I'm just gonna go ahead and create that. And that's the actual signature. And then all I'm gonna do is put, right, her name, Vanessa Harris Consulting. Then below that, I'm gonna put the name, Vanessa Harris. And then below that, I'm gonna put my email, my phone number, right? I don't have to type that out because you guys know how to follow that. And then for the image, I'm gonna grab the image that I created. So let me switch my screen and show you something. So I went into Canva, and I'm not gonna show you this during my tip today because this is part of the business summit. But what I did was I went right here to Canva and I clicked on email signature template, and I created a template for Vanessa with her logo here, her picture here, right? Her name as the founder, the name of her company, and her information. And then I downloaded it with an all white background. Why did I do that? So that when it doesn't look like a business card when I upload it into the email. So now I'm gonna go back to the email. I'm going to click on image right here, insert an image. I'm going to click on upload. I am now going to go to her folder. And I'm going to grab right here where I have it at, right? Email business card right here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. Click open. And it's gonna pop up here. Now, if I want it bigger or smaller, if I click on it, I can say large, medium, small, right? Whatever size I want that, I'll have it there right in that signature. And then all I'm going to do is go down here and click Save Changes when I finish. Now, before I do that, let me show you some of the other features down here. See where it says Signature Defaults? I can set this up for whatever email that I have in my system. So I'll show you during the summit how you can add several emails that you send from. I'm using it to send it from Dunbar.Robert. So if I go to send an email from this email address, the signature is going to automatically pull up. If I don't want that to be my default address, I can click this drop down and choose any one of my emails to be the default. And you're going to see how it doesn't matter whether I use the default or not, right? Now, I have an option for new emails. So when I'm creating and composing a new email, I can say, what do I send emails the most as a coach, as a Legal Shield associate, or as a personal person? I send most of my emails nowadays as a coach. So I say for new emails, use my TBD coaching, right? To reply or forward, I'm using my BAPS 2022 signature. So I can set those up ahead of time so that's how it plays out. So I'm gonna go ahead and click Save Changes. I'm gonna refresh after that just to make sure that everything is refreshed. And then I'm gonna go to compose after I refresh. Let it refresh, then I'll compose. And you'll see what I mean. If you guys are benefiting from this so far, if you follow me so far, throw a 12 in the chat. If this is beneficial to you so far, throw a 12 in the chat. So here we go. I'm gonna click compose. Opening up to write a brand new email. Sorry, it's taking so long. I got so many windows open and so many screens open here. All right, so this is my TBD email. And if I say, no, I don't want to use this, right? I want to send the email from another email. Now all I have to do is go down here to the right and click on this little ink pen that says insert signature. I can click on that and I can choose whichever signature I want. So if I choose the Vanessa Consulting, it drops it in, right? And all I have to do is get rid of this email because this is not the one that I want to use. And then I can start typing and I've got my Vanessa Harris Consulting email right there. And that's what I chose to send it from. So I can change that however often I want. Whenever I'm going to send another email, I just click this and I can choose whichever email I want. And it's going to go ahead and change it to that email, to that email signature. So hopefully that helped everybody. I'm going to come out of my share screen.
That was good stuff, Ms. Dunbar. Good stuff.
Yes, yes.
A couple of people someone asked if we can do that in Outlook. I use Outlook for my professional email. And yes, I have those 3 set up in the same way in Outlook.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So just so you know, that is free. Everything I showed you is at no cost. Gmail allows you to offer it. Even if you go to Canva, which I'll show you at the Business Summit, to create a more professional looking email signature with the template, you can do that as well on Canva at no cost. Under the free version, you can still do that. So just make sure you understand all of those things are at no additional cost. So guys, on the recording that we send out, so most of you are, if you got the recording for week 2, for week 1 and week 2, put a 13 in the chat so we know that you received it. And before we close out here, I'm going to throw the link for the recording of week 2 in this chat in the evening when I pass it over to one of the other coaches. But on this week 3, you're going to get us, what you just saw right here. You're going to get this, plus there's going to be a transition into Hero Branch's training as well, which is recorded. So you'll get to hear Hero Branch's training on how to create your business voice, right? How to create your voice in business. He's going to do a training on that. Well, he's already done it, but I'm going to add it to the recording when that goes out so that you guys are able to take a look at that when you're looking at the recording. So
and I also dropped mine in there.
Oh, go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, I dropped mine in there too. So there's a link and it's just a Word document, but it goes through the steps of being able to use the split screen on Windows, if you're using Windows. And Ariel also mentioned how easy it is to do the same thing on a Mac. So, okay. And I see Ms. Lassiter has her hand up, then Ms. Buchanan, and then Mr. Hicks. Go ahead, Ms. Lassiter.
Okay, my question's for Ariel. I use an Apple, a Mac computer, and you were talking about for the Mac, mm-hmm. Hover over the green and it will give you the split screen. What are you meaning by hover over the green?
Okay, so let me just show you really quickly. My screen looks crazy, but hey, you know what? It's all tried. So essentially you see this, right? And depending on what your, depending on Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so now if you don't have your update, then that may change it. But you have to update your Mac, right? Because before a certain year, it wasn't able to do this. But if you hover, you see how this shows like enter full screen or it says half, and then it's gonna go like that, and then you can opt into this, do that. So do you see how I did that? You hover?
Yes.
Perfect. And then you can exit as well. So just kind of hover over the green and it'll do the same.
Yeah, the green dot. Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
So make sure you're registered, guys. All of this that we're doing for free, you can benefit from it, but it's going to tie into a bigger deal for you when you get the business summit, because you're going to see how they're going to go together. So in the example of the stuff that I'm doing, I'm showing you, we showed you labels, multiple inboxes, signatures, but I'm going to show you how to tie that all together so that everything is hands off. So when an email comes in, if you're on vacation, you can have your email set up. So even if you're on vacation, you're responding to emails while you're on vacation without you actually responding. I'm gonna show you how to do that at no cost. I'm gonna show you how to use something like called Boomerang, where when you send an email out and you're waiting for a response, if I send Ariel an email, ask her a question, and she doesn't answer within 3 days, it will pop back up in my email and say, Ariel didn't answer. You need to send her another email and follow up. I can have it automatically do that. So there's so many ways that I'm gonna tie this stuff together so that you can really be hands off and be gone for 4 or 5 days from your office. And you don't have to use the vacation response that said I'm out of my office for 5 days. It can look just like you got a VA working for you while you're gone. So we're gonna show you how to do that, but it's gonna all tie in when we get to the big picture. So that's how that's gonna all work together. So remember, guys, this value that we're giving you guys for $200, guys, these 5 weeks we're doing, we could have sold this for $200.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, we could have sold these 5 weeks for $200 and stuff that we're going to share. You still got 2 more weeks left. We could have shared this. This is almost an hour a week. That's 5 hours. There are people charging way more than $199 for 5 hours of training with 3 coaches, 4 coaches in 3 different generations. So I'm just telling you, the business summit is another 16 hours on top of that, guys. You're getting a steal, and it's all tangible. It's all things that you're gonna have PDFs for, and you're gonna go back and look at the recordings for life. And it's gonna be broken up into modules. So what we're giving you guys is ridiculous for $199. And we're giving you a payment.
We just got a message from Dr. Griffin. She says, do you guys make house calls, or can I just send you my computer? So, finally, I'm going to say, and I'm saying finally, just finally for me, since I'm the millennial here, I just want to tell you guys. Yeah, I know all this stuff. They ain't teaching me nothing. Oh, no, I'm learning along the way. Mr. Hicks, you and I are in it to win it, right? We are in it to win it. So we know that there is a lot out there, guys. We know that. And unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for us, we've gone through a lot of it, and we've made investment in money and time. And I can't say that it didn't give us some return on our investment. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to do something totally different. We wanted to prove to you guys that we are worth the investment, that what we're bringing to the table will be more than worth the investment. So we're asking if you guys, for the next 2 weeks, reach out to your team, reach out to people that you know that can benefit from this. Tell everybody, right? If we can keep people from having to throw away money or make investments, the kind of investments that sometimes that not only strip you financially, but they strip you emotionally. This is what we're trying to do. So let everybody know that they can get something, if nothing else, but from the Wednesday night, right? We want to make this good. We want to have a resounding message that nobody should be taken advantage of just because they want to learn. All right. Ariel, I'm throwing it to you.
Yeah, family, I'm excited just to be able to create a learning space. I'm not sure how many people, drop it in the chat, drop an 8 in the chat if you want to do better on social media, just so that I can get an understanding. Yeah. How many of us,
I know
even
you didn't call me
recognize?
a triple millennial.
No, she said we are triple millennials. It's so funny. I screamed. I screamed. So I see Kathy, Karina. Now, this is a space. How many of us also, just by a show of hands, feel like it's overwhelming, right? And if we had somebody that can hold our hands, like we would do it. Like if we just knew that there was somebody that would be able to lock arms with us. And that's what I'm gonna do, right? Nancy, Robin, Jackie, I see Cynthia, see Janice, wow. And I want to make sure that, we understand that I'm a bridge. That's what I'm going to be for you. You know how all of us have those teenagers in the house that you're like, man, if I just had so-and-so over here, she would be able to find that in my email, or she would be able to, put that picture up for me. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be the favorite niece, the favorite daughter, the favorite grandchild for you, because I know that it's important. And this is also what's going to happen. We're not going to judge each other. It doesn't matter where you're at currently. It doesn't matter what you do or what you do not know. Family, this is what it's going to be for. And then, we'll be able to talk about the space of automation when it comes to certain things, and not high level, because it's 4 days. It's 4 days with 4 coaches, right? But we will definitely get to a space where we could at least know the possibility to be able to automate a lot of, our social media activity, from planners and how to upload your content. Imagine being able to take one day, upload, a month's worth of content, and be able to walk away from your social media platforms. Like, and we think that these people on social media are just geniuses and amazing and like whizzes. They're not. They're using technology. All right. So, you're like, but I'm talking to you on the phone. Why did you post on Instagram? How did you post on Facebook? And I was just texting you. This is how. So it's so important. It's crucial. And we're going to demystify social media, so that, we could definitely take our business to the next level. And so that, I don't want to say we can compete, but we can play on the playing field that everybody else is on. Right now, some of us are just in the seat, in the arena, right? Where we need to be on the floor, like hooping. Right? And we ain't even doing the layup, we ain't taking the foul shot. So I'm excited about that. Of course, I want to pass it back to Coach Dunbar. If does anybody need walkthroughs on the website? So when it comes to this investment that you're making into your business, anytime that you make an investment, you should know, what, I want it to have this fruit for my business. I have this expectation, and I want everybody to write that down. What would you like to receive, when you come to this summit? Because family, when you're clear on that, you will get that answer. All right. You'll be able to take that to the next level. And like Coach Larry said, 2020 to 2021, I made significant investments. And this is what I'll tell you. There are no coaches out there that don't have a comma in this type of offering. But I'm so grateful that Coach Larry, Coach Dunbar, Coach Branch actually, accepted me into this space, because this is where my heart is. I know all of us want to just give and give and give. And you don't find that in this type of market. Sometimes people are coaching for coaching's sake. When you leave this summit, you will be able to apply all of this to your business by the time that Sunday comes, that's important to us. Not just me, that's important to all of us. You have the mindset and all the tools to go with it. So I would like for us to do a screen share, Coach Dunbar, if anything, just to be able to show them the website.
Yeah, and we'll get those questions. We see those hands up. We're gonna get to those questions that we see up there. I'm gonna go right here, and then I'm going to go right here. So remember, I put a link in there if you're using the 10% discount, you're not going to have to surf anything. The 10% discount is going to take you right to the checkout. So you don't even have to worry about clicking anything at that point. But if you're using the regular, just the BAPS 2002, just the site link, and you're going here in general, just a walkthrough on the site. You got 14 days left. If you click to enroll, this will take you right to where you enroll at. But before I do that, I'm going to scroll down where we've got the coaches and some of the things that we're going to be talking about. We've got some testimonials up here from people who have worked with us before. I believe I saw Janice Johnson actually on this Zoom tonight. A testimonial from Janice Johnson on Sharon Larry, a testimonial from Robert Dorleans from working with Miss Coach Samone, and then Willie Tover. Some of you guys know Willie Tover, who's a coach and a business networker. He gave a testimonial on working with me. I've been working with Willie Tover for over 12 months in his coaching business and his business networking. So when you come down here, you've got the prices. So even if you don't scroll, if you just go right on ahead and click here, it'll take you right where you need to go. It should, but it's doing something crazy. So let me scroll now. On this, it's spinning, but I'm just gonna go down here to where it's at. Right down here, if you scroll down, you got enroll now. So whichever option you choose, when you click it, it's gonna take you right to the checkout. And if you've already purchased anything from TBD Coaching, when you put your email address in here, it's going to populate your payment method. So it does it automatically for you. It's also going to let you know down here what you're going to be getting, just so you can get another view at what you're going to get, the tutorials that we're going to be doing. And it's also letting you know about the money back guarantee here. And then there's another testimonial down here below that. Actually, there's 3 more testimonials down here below that for those that need to just to hear a second opinion on what working with us is. Yeah. And the fact that we're doing everything hands-on, that will give you that ability to be able to raise your hand, ask a question if you get stuck, or go in the chat and ask. Because remember, if you can't get to raise your hand, there's a question. And even if you're a person you're introvert, you don't want to say anything out loud, remember, you can go to the chat and you can directly ask a question to one of the coaches. Just go to chat and then choose that coach's name, and then it'll say directly, and you can ask that coach a question and they can answer that question for you. And then it doesn't keep you from from asking the question, because you don't want to raise your hand, you don't want to speak out loud. So always keep that in mind too. Rosalind Thornton. Is your hand up on purpose?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, good. All right, so I showed you guys how to walking you guys through that. Remember, the 10% coupon is inside the chat. I will put it inside the chat again, just to make sure that it's in there fresh. Does anybody else have any questions on what we've talked about, the summit, how it's all going to work? And I do got one more thing I am going to mention here, which is about the summit. One of the things for me that's really valuable about doing this whole setup, this whole function in general, is that you've got all these people coming together at one time to really help you better your business. In my experience as being a coach, the things that we're going to be covering are some of the things that are holding people back when they understand their actual business. And what people don't seem to understand about being an entrepreneur or business owner is that doing what you do as a business is one area. Knowing how to run a business, that takes a whole nother degree. That's a whole nother trade. Like being a chef has nothing to do with owning a restaurant. Those are 2 separate duties. So a lot of business owners that I've worked with, what I've seen is that they master an art and then they wonder why they don't get rich or wealthy doing it as a business, because they don't understand that answering emails promptly makes a difference. They don't understand that following up on people makes a difference. They don't understand that how you treat your customers, how you over deliver makes a difference. They don't understand that having a virtual assistant, having somebody take the load off with things that you don't want to have to continue to do yourself so you can focus on growing the business makes a difference on burnout. They don't understand that being organized, not only in your email, but in your office, right? So Sharon, Larry, and myself are going to talk about decluttering. Why? Because as soon as you clean your office, anxiety level is going to drop.
Mm-hmm.
When you're going to be in a hurry to get to your office the next morning, knowing that it's clean, and you can actually lay a notepad down on your desk, that you can set something up, that you can have a timer in front of you and actually see it. So just make sure that you understand that decluttering is not, when you say, well, I'm not really working because I got to clean my office. Cleaning your office makes you more efficient. And these were things that were holding my clients back. Not understanding that their calendar is their boss. Not understanding that all of those things are so very important. And I'm in what I was going to say on this. Sharon Larry is going to show you how to create a booking site for Calendly. I'm going to show you how to create a booking site for Acuity. And that was a major turnaround in my business. When I went from haggling calendar dates with people to being able to schedule 5, 6, 7 appointments a day and not ever talk to anybody, that was a major game changer in my business. When I can look at my calendar and say, oh man, I booked 7 appointments a day and I didn't even talk to those people. And if it was a consultation that somebody was paying for, they were able to pay for it and still not talk to me. So you booked to have a consultation with me on Friday for an hour and you paid me and I still never spoke to you. And you got the Zoom link after you booked the appointment and I still never. That is automation at its best. When you can be on vacation for a week and come back and have 30 appointments and never have spoken to anybody. And not have to pay a secretary, but pay $14 a month to have software that does it with or without you and doesn't get it wrong because it's computerized, right? So it's saying the same thing to everybody. It's doing the same thing over and over again. And it's no burnout. They're not going to quit. You don't have to fire it. Does that make sense? So I just wanted to throw that out there so you guys know there's going to be a lot in this conference that's going to be able to help you like take leaps and bounds in your business and get rid of some of that learning curve. And you're doing that for a very inexpensive amount of money. So any other coaches want to say anything else? They will have the email to send it to them.
And if I can challenge everybody, not saying you have to be like me, but I made a conscious effort to register. Secondly, because the information is so, oh my God, I can't even sleep at night after the session. But what I'd love to do is encourage everybody to put it on their social media. And I say that, but I ask also, is there a limit? Because I don't want to miss that. Well, I'm registered, but if I don't get in before a certain number, I don't want to have everybody else register before me. So is it wise to put it on our social media?
Well, we talked about this, right? And we kind of went back and forth. And what we want to do is make a positive impact. So we can only take so many because we need to be able to work hand in hand and one-on-one. So we will have to cut it off at a certain point. We're not quite there. We're close, but not quite there. So we'll go ahead and let people know that when we hit that number, and we're still kind of debating. I'm still trying to pull Mr. Dunbar over the line, right? Come on, right? So I'm working hard on him, right? But right now we know that we have to cut it off to give you guys what we promised.
So if we are not sure and we don't have all of our money, is it safe to say we can at least put our down payment down to secure our spot? Y'all, come on now.
Get the spot. You better get the spot because when we hit that number, we may do it again in the future, but this first one, we want to make sure that we deliver.
And the second one is going to have somewhat of different topics. Plus, you're never going to get us to say the same thing because none of us are scripted. Harold's not scripted, Sharon's not scripted, Ariel's not scripted, and neither am I. And something that Dr. Griffin said that's very important. The reason why we have the 2 payment split is if you pay your first payment today, your next payment is not even due for 30 days, but you're now registered and you're in. So when you do that, you've gotten in for $99.50 or with 10% discount, whatever that is off of, I guess it's $90 or something, but you're now registered and you're in the groove. And Sharon she is saying, hey, let's move it. And I'm telling you, I don't want to. Because, and let me tell you why I don't want to. It's because I did a goal setting seminar at the end of last year and it had 279 people and it was too much to keep up with. It was too much to manage because all of the questions that come afterwards, all of the emails that need to be sent to everybody afterwards. It's a big project servicing those 200 some odd people who register. So it's like the serious people, get your behinds in. It's not, y'all, look, $99, come on, y'all. Like, we don't need to have no conversation about that. We know that we can find it if we want to, and it's taking a huge learning curve off your business. And for those that have been here and may have daydreamed, this is not a Legal Shield training. We're not training you on Legal Shield. We're training you on business so that you can operate Legal Shield, insurance, financial services, personal training, real estate, whatever you do, you can do that better. You can do that better, right? So can you apply it to your Legal Shield business? Absolutely, you can. But you can learn Legal Shield every week, almost every day with those trainers. They got those there. If you're an AFLAC, if you're a Medicare consultant, they've got trainings for all of that kind of stuff. I'm telling you guys, this training is so that you become a better. That's why it's called a business summit. We're showing you how to get better at business, and we handpick who's coaching, and we keep talking. We're having meetings in between these meetings to talk about what we're going to talk about so that you don't hear the same thing over and over again from different coaches. We're clearly going to be talking about different topics so that you learn different things in this process. Absolutely. We all took information that we found the most useful with our coaching clients. Because as I work with more coaching clients, I'm realizing, wait a minute, let me back up. You're wanting to do this, but you don't know how to do this yet. Right? If you don't have things organized, man, it's very difficult to run an efficient anything. I don't care if it's parenting. If everything is haywire, man, if you got 2 or 3 kids and you don't have one of them boards on the wall with all of the different dates for dentist and doctor and basketball game and this and that, man, you'll be pulling your hair out. You'll be missing every appointment, or you'll be late to every appointment. You've got to have that stuff organized so that it's simple and everybody knows what it is to do. So when I'm talking about calendaring, I'm going to talk to you about sharing your calendar with your family, meaning your significant other, your grown kids, so that they know where you're at, so that they know not to bother you when you're doing specific things. And I'm going to show you guys, I'm a roadmap so that you guys know exactly, I'm going to use acronyms to show you how to get it on your calendar, how to create a plan of action how to set a goal, create a plan of action, then check out the potential obstacles. And once you figured out, okay, I've got this set, I have the goal, I've got the action plan, I've got my obstacles figured out and how to solve them. Now let me get this on my calendar so I can do all the steps that it took to get to the goal. And we have to know how to do that in that specific order. So when we set it, we can set it and forget it. Because if you say, this is my goal and this is what the steps I have to do this over the next 4 weeks, and you put that on your calendar, you don't have to remember anything. When you wake up and see your calendar and it says do this for 30 minutes and it says that 3 times a week for the next 4 weeks, at the end of that 4 weeks, guess what happened? You completed a goal because every action was on your calendar and you didn't have to remember it. You just went through the steps and did it. And this is what we all need. We need to be able to just walk through steps. Not every time we're trying to create a project, lay everything down on the floor and figure everything out one thing at a time. Set it at one time. It's like prepping meals at the end of the week. Prep meals for the next week. Now you don't end up in drive-through at McDonald's buying French fries when you could have had a meal prep that would have been a lot healthier for you and saved you money. And that's what we do. We go to fast food places because we don't have anything ready. So we're trying to keep you from running an unorganized business and being in a place that you don't want to be in because you're not prepared for tomorrow. So what ends up happening is you do whatever your email tells you to do. You do whatever that text tells you to do. You do whatever somebody calls and say, I have an emergency. Well, I can help you because I don't have nothing else to do. If you have a schedule, that won't happen. I don't go to McDonald's because I got a snack in my bag in the car, so I have to stop at McDonald's. If I get hungry, I've got something in my bag that's already prepared, that's already healthy. It keeps me from going to the fast food place. If somebody calls me and says I have an emergency, it's up on my calendar. So most of the time, I'm not going to answer my phone anyway. But if I do, I'm going to be quick to tell you, I can't help you at 4 o'clock because I got something at 3:50. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not.
Don't answer that phone. Not unless there's a way to get to him. You have to kind of maneuver.
There you go. If answer the phone is not on my calendar, I don't answer the phone. Right.
I see Sheila has her hand up. Go ahead, Mrs. Byrd.
Wow.
Did you see my message?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Oh my God.
You look great, Sheila.
I'm I'm just blown away right now, guys. Okay. I am so excited about this summit. And I mean, each of you have previewed us, okay, to what we're about to receive. But you know what you've done for me? Because my goal is, how many times have I gone to trainings, taken all these copious notes and didn't apply it? Okay, I didn't apply it. I can see myself. That's my goal. You wanted to know what we wanted to get out of this? I want to apply what you trained me to help me take my business to another level. That's what I want. Apply. I'm learning it. I'm going to be all in, but I want to be able to make sure that I leave out of here applying it. And that's what I see. That's what I see from this training right here, because I see how each and every one of you patiently have gone through to bring us even back to things that, oh my goodness, in the past we should have even known, but we didn't, because we never had anyone show us. And here you are going to take your time to help us to be able to understand those basic steps that's going to help us to take to the next level. So I am so very grateful. I can just see that where this is going and how it's going to be. It's so totally different from any training that I've ever experienced. So this is what I've been praying for. So all I can say is thank you so very much. I really appreciate this.
Thank you. I felt that. Thank you.
Can I ask a personal question?
Sure.
How close are you to 100 so I'll know whether or not I need to take my invite down?
Well, we don't have much more to go. I can tell you that. We haven't looked at the numbers today, but I would say if there are people that you want to get in, go ahead and encourage them to do it this week.
Okay.